Man, good evening, guys. I got an awesome video I just came across from this YouTube channel called Bull Runners. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for sharing my videos. Thank you, family, for joining me. And this is a passion of mine, is XRP, man. XRP is going to go through the roof, in my opinion. This is not financial advice, but I found this video. I think you guys might like this channel. Go check out Bull Runner. I just seen this. I think it was today, but let's play it and let's talk about it. It's crazy. It just blew my mind. And just comment down below what you think about it. Let's go right into it.
All right, I want to talk about time travel, the secret technology. Yes, the White House admitting this week, on the record, by the way, that we possess the technology to manipulate time and space.
So this video was released by Redacted recently, saying that time travel is real and the government has been hiding it. So we're going to play this clip for you in a little bit, but here's where this gets interesting. This picture was posted right here by the White House, April 26th, just a couple days ago. And this same exact picture was posted by Mr. Pool's account in 2022. Which brings me to my video that I made 3 days ago decoding the Economist 1998 prediction with the Phoenix on the front cover saying get ready for a world currency. Where we also showed this clip from Brad Garlinghouse when he worked at AOL telling you that he's been working on the Phoenix, which is also connected to the Bearable Guy's account, putting the Phoenix on the castle right here, leading a lot of people to wonder, is the person behind the Bearable Guy 123 account a time traveler? And what does this have to do with XLM, Elon Musk and Grok, the Matrix, the number 589 on the Gematria calculator being directly connected to Donald Trump, Thomas Anderson, who plays Neo in the Matrix, ISOXRP, Ripple the Bull, and a massive explosion that is about to take place in space that is directly connected to the largest financial events in history the past 160 years. And if
see what I'm saying, guys? Go check out Bull Runners, man. He puts out some good information here, and shout out to him, man. I'm using your channel because, man, this is awesome. I know there's some technologies out there, man. If you guys are aware of that, let me know. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Maybe this is crap. I don't know. I think it's real. There's some crazy stuff out there, technologies that we don't even know about. This is like a 24-minute video. I have to come through every once in a while. We'll talk about it. Thanks, guys. Keep going.
Time travel is actually real, or if it's just a conspiracy theory.
Right.
Because as you guys watch this entire video, you're going to discover some information that will blow your mind, like a book that was written in the late 1800s that talks about Donald Trump's son time traveling, and a book that was written shortly after that by the same author in 1900, calling it The Last President. And what this has to do right now with what Donald Trump is doing as president for the real world asset industry, for blockchain technology, for companies like Ripple and the partnerships that they've already acquired and continue to strategically align with, what Ripple is launching that is going to take the world by storm, and how you can properly position yourself to make the most amount of money possible. Because the best way to predict the future is to create it. So if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. And if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, comment 777
Bull
below,
Runners.
and let's run it. Most people that are interested in crypto trading don't have the time to manage their entries and speed. And you could also get exclusive access steps to be entered in to win. With that being said, let's dive into this video because I thought this was really interesting and also very strange at the same time, because is the White House nodding it to Mr. Pool's account by posting this photo that was posted back in 2022? Can any of you guys explain this? Because this is the exact same photo. There is no differences here to this photo other than maybe the contrast to it, but it's exactly the same, and it was posted 3 years apart. And Mr. Pool's account has been notorious for posting a lot of riddles as well too, along with BG123. And the banner says checkmate. Now, paperwork is done. The signatures are sealed. Gassara is not some future plan. It's live. For months, they've been running parallel systems. ISO 222, cross-border settlements, tokenized assets. Now the alignment is locked. This isn't about laws being passed. It's about contracts being enforced. Debt ceilings have been shattered, but notice the IMF is staying silent. Central banks liquidate assets, but notice the media pretends nothing is happening. Behind the silent, closed doors, debt forgiveness protocols initiate, wealth redistribution cycles begins, and the chains that held entire nations broken. GESARA is not a promise, it's a ledger already running, and the grand reveal is coming soon. Now that brings me to this clip right here because I thought this was really interesting, and you guys need to hear these clips from this specific video Redacted posted about a week ago.
Yes, the White House admitting this week, on the record, by the way, that we possess the technology to manipulate time and space. In other words, time travel, teleportation technology, like the very same technology that was used to make MH370, Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, disappear in thin air on camera. And by the way, the people that are like, oh, that video's been debunked. Shut up. No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
In fact, it's been the opposite. It's been bunked. It's not been debunked. And the man who helped really uncover the story from the beginning is Ashton Forbes, one of our favorite guests here on the show. I call him a physicist because he is. I want to play this first soundbite from General Quast. Now, he worked in Colorado training individuals, and he saw this technology basically, I think, on the desks of Air Force engineers in the United States Air Force. And it was basically admitting that we have these incredible technologies that allows us to teleport, transport in ways that you wouldn't you'd blow your mind. So let me just play a few seconds of this. Watch this one.
The technology is on the engineering benches today, but most Americans and most in Congress have not had time to really look deeply at what's going on here.
When your kid is hurting and there's nothing you can do about it.
Here. But I've had the benefit of 33 years of studying and becoming friends with these engineers and these scientists. This technology can be built today with technology that is not developmental to deliver any human being from any place on planet Earth to any other place in less than an hour. To deliver Wi-Fi from space where you never need a cell tower to connect.
And then this just happened over
right.
the past 48 hours. Trump White House official of science and technology policy director Michael Kriatsous said that we possess the technology that can manipulate time and space. Watch.
Our passenger planes are slower than they used to be. Our trains crawl compared to those in other parts of the world. Our cars do not fly. Advances have not stopped, but something has gone wrong. Stagnation was a choice. We have weighed down our builders and innovators. The well-intentioned regulatory regime of the 1970s became an ever-tightening ratchet, first hampering America's ability to become a net energy exporter and then making it harder and harder to build. We seem to have lost focus and vision, to have lowered our sights and let systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along. But we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow, and improve productivity.
He's admitting that we allowed our technology to sort of purposefully stagnate. So would you say that maybe the same technologies that he's talking about is what allowed the United States government to disappear MH370?
Yeah, definitely. And what we're talking about here is technology that you can find a lot of videos of engineers talking about this. That zero-point energy technology is an echelon above anything that we have conventionally right now. So even nukes are completely obsolete in face of this level of technology. And you'll hear people talking about this all over the place. So you can imagine a lot of scenarios where with this type of technology, you know, the United States government is uncontested in the world. And this explains why nobody has really actually tried to challenge us on the global stage for, you know, almost an entire century at this point. And some people say, well, if these are out there, could other countries have figured it out? Yes, I think there's a shadow arms race. And I think this overlaps with the UFO community where they say that, you know, this might be UFO tech or whatever, and then Russia and China are working on this. This is what scares me the most about this is that, you know, if two warring factions get this level of technology, the science on display here that I want to go through with you today, it has the capability of producing not just a wormhole, but actually a black hole, like annihilation of the entire planet, maybe even the entire solar system. It's just a matter of scale. And what you realize from these videos and the science related to them is that physics, the universe is scale invariant. Stuff that you can do on the small level, small scale, you can also do on the large scale. Those orbs that you see there, they are mimicking atoms. It looks like an atom. It's a positively charged plasma center with electrons that you can see as green as a shell around it. You can even see the shell of the electrons move fluidly when they start to spin around the plane because of the magnetic field they're producing around the plane. It's just wild when you look at it and you can see all of that detail from that. UFOs are real. There are things flying around that people do not understand. It doesn't necessarily mean it's aliens, though. Here's the secret. After I dug into it as an investigator,
I've seen one. Just one. When I was young, second grade, me and my sister, she can tell you the exact same story, going up into the house, and that thing was going over the Rockford Trailer Park. I don't even know what year it is. I'm almost 50 years old now, and that thing was going slow as can be over top of our head, just going slow. And at that point, we only had the little ratchet freaking cameras, and I was running in there into the house, and it was gone. It's just crazy, man. But there's a lot of things out there. Let's just keep continuing.
the answer to the question of how this is all possible is negative energy. The wormhole itself, if you're traveling through it, there's no time that's passing, no matter where the opening and the closing is. And if you follow the principle of least action, this would mean that there's never going to be any passage of time while you're traveling through the wormhole. And if you then put one more restriction and say that the mouth of the wormhole cannot move, it can only be in one spot, as in it opens and closes and it's not there anymore. If you make those two restrictions, it's no longer possible to go back in time. Reverse causality is no longer possible, no matter how you look at it. You'll always, even if you go through a portal, go through a different portal, you'll never show up at a time before you started the process. So my opinion right now, having dug into the physics, is that there is no way for you to actually go back to a previous time in the universe. But you can actually travel in time. Time travel is 100% real. You can do two different things, which I think are extremely significant. You can travel to the future, number one. You can slow your rate of time so that...
If you can travel to the future, what would you do? Oh my gosh. What would you do? If that is true, what would you do? And my question is, if you paid attention to Donald Trump for so long, like I have, he's always right. How is he always right? You guys seen it. He's always right. Has he been wrong yet? Wow. I'm mind blown. You know why? Because I believe John Trump, his great uncle, inherited all of Nikola Tesla's time travel / whatever. That's just my opinion. I think that's true. I'm not 100% sure if I read that correctly, but I know that there's a book out there, The Adventures of Baron Trump. And he has a handler or friend named Don. Man, there's some weird stuff going on, guys. Here, let's get back into this. But we'll just think about this. Well, what would you do if you could go back or go into the future? Man, I would change a few things, you know?
That everything else looks like it's speeding up around you to such a degree where you could go 100 years in the future. All of a sudden, it's 100 years in the future, and you're like, whoa, how did that happen? It would be extremely disorienting, but you could do it. The other thing you could do is you could reverse your biological process. You could put a bubble around yourself and reverse the entropy of inside the bubble, which is you and your age, and you could reverse your age. And before you ask me, would you remember that? I actually asked Navy engineer Salvatore Pais this question. His opinion is you would still remember, because his belief is your consciousness is stored in the 0-point energy, not in your body is just a receiver.
Now, here's an interesting perspective based on what they just talked about. A lot of people a long time ago that just drove horses had no clue what cars were until Henry Ford came into the picture and he created the assembly line. And now everyone drives a car. No one rides a horse on the road anymore unless you're, a police officer that's doing it for show. But at this point, Nobody believed back then that planes are possible. And at this point, look how many people fly in planes. Nobody believed that it'd be possible to listen to somebody else through a computer screen, let alone your phone that you're probably watching this video at and listening to while you're driving your car right now, yet it's possible. And so when we discuss stuff like time travel, it's no different. You know, a lot of people think that it's impossible. It's the same situation right now. Now imagine, you know, the crypto market, okay, blockchain technology, the ISO standard, what's coming later this year, let alone over the next 10 years. Imagine you're invested into XRP, and in just a decade, the world follows along with the flow of the inevitable. Well, what is that inevitable? Well, listen to what Larry Fink said in this interview with CNBC right here.
Again, I'm using a lot of Bull Runners content. This guy's amazing. I think this is like one of the best videos I've seen on the internet today, guys. Please share this out. Go subscribe to the guy. He is amazing. I'm gonna drop his channel in the description below, and let me know what you guys think, man. Comment down below.
You know, as a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization, I mean, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks.
So what does that mean, the tokenization, not only bonds and stocks, but crypto, everything on chain? Look at this right here. We have untokenized assets and we have tokenized assets right here. You are right here at about $200 billion tokenized, whereas 1.64 quadrillion has the potential to be tokenized on chain. And Ripple is diving full force in to facilitate that. They have the most connections and partnerships in the whole entire crypto space.
That's what I'm saying, you guys. I've been telling people about XRP every single day, and I'm super excited. In fact, my portfolio, and I've already been in it for since November of 2024. I'm growing my bag, but man, I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I'm new at this, and I can see it. I got a lot of people like Bull Runner here and a couple other guys, Levi and Ramos. I can tell you, they're smart. They know what the heck they're talking about. And when I came across this video on Bull Runner, man, this is amazing. This is amazing. He's got 360,000 subscribers. That is awesome. Congratulations to him.
Through the World Bank, the IMF, the Federal Reserve, the International Monetary Fund, the Rockefeller Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, you name it, guys. The list goes on and on. You know, I could sit here and list all these companies off, but all you have to do is go back to the videos over the past 2 years and discover the documents through our channel that we've uncovered for you. And now CME is launching XRP futures. So real institutional adoption is taking place behind closed doors, and you guys just get to see the snippet of it taking place. They're laying the road work, just like how they had to lay the road work for cars to drive on because horses used to walk on dirt road. They didn't need asphalt. Well, when cars were created, it was a combination of dirt roads that cars would drive on. Then they built asphalt roads. When they needed to create freeways, they had to lay more concrete. And so the concrete, so to speak, and the asphalt of the banking industry has been laid, and it's almost ready for XRP to hit the freeway. CME is the king of Bitcoin futures. Now XRP is next. And whether Brad Garlinghouse' position at Ripple is organic and he's the best person to fit the role, or he's just a plant after he worked at AOL and Yahoo and now he's planted at Ripple, is up for you guys to decide. But nonetheless, listen to this right here.
Markets like Japan, I think, are still unlocking. The market opportunity here is massive. You have trillions of dollars flowing cross-border globally. It's still largely dominated by the SWIFT network, if you will. And that's architecture, that's a technology architecture that's developed 50 years ago. There's an opportunity to modernize. That takes time, particularly when you have a government in the U.S. kind of combating that innovation. But that's changing now. The Trump effect, if you will, is profound. You're seeing that in asset prices, but you're also going to see that in the adoption of these technologies.
Yeah, and I think so when you're looking at the growth story then of Ripple, does it still come from overseas? Or are you expecting a change in terms of domestic interest in Ripple?
Well, we're definitely already seeing a change in the domestic interest. The 6 weeks after President Trump was elected, we signed more deals in the United States than we had in the previous 6 months. So these are very innovative technologies. I think they're going to play out over 10, even 20 years in terms of how they integrate and rewire the financial infrastructure of the United States. That's across payments. That's across even the settlement of maybe real estate transactions, securities transactions. So I think we're going to see this play out over a long arc. But then the United States is finally unlocked, and I think people are underestimating how big that change is, and you'll see that continue to play out this year.
So what Amazon did to the e-commerce industry, what Uber
XRP,
and
I'm
Lyft did
you.
to the taxi cab industry, what Airbnb did to the hotel industry, Ripple is doing to the cross-border payments market. So it's no wonder why the 589 conspiracy is people saying that it's the price of XRP, when in reality it's just the Jewish gematria number that syncs up with Donald Trump, ISO XRP, Ripple the Bull, a storm is coming. And when you stack that with all the information and all the news that's been dropping about Ripple and XRP, it's no wonder why a storm is coming, a $1.64 quadrillion storm. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, so for the people that are so impatient, it's like, why hasn't the price moved on the price chart? They're thinking in days, not in decades. Speaking of decades, well, over 100+ years ago, in 1893,
Listen, guys, right here.
Baron Trump, the time traveler book, was written. It was written by Ingersoll Lockwood, and it's called Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. It's about a prince from Castle Trump who time travels and goes on a journey under the direction of a man named Don, the master of masters. He explores tunnels within the earth and advanced civilizations. And some of them point to Operation
check
Looking
this
Glass
out,
as
man.
the key, along with Nikola Tesla tech or advanced tech.
I just said that. Yes. Exactly, man. Oh my gosh. I got goosebumps, guys. Man, I've been saying this for quite some time. I'm just like, something is just not right, because Donald Trump, man, that guy's always seemed to be right about everything and just blows my mind. Blows my mind. And that was the story I was hearing a long time ago, is John Trump got Nikola Tesla's stuff, man. It just amazes me, guys. There's some stuff out there like right now, anti-gravity. Man, here we go.
They say art imitates life, but in this case, is art a prophecy? Author Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a series of books over 100 years ago about a super rich kid named Baron Trump. One of the books is titled Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. The fantasy book tells the tale of a boy named Baron Trump, who of course makes his home in Castle Trump. The narrator of the story is a guy by the name of Don. The book supposedly tells the tale of Don, the master of masters, taking young Baron through a time.
How many people out there has heard of it's going to be biblical? I'm just going to leave it right there.
Traveling portal to Russia. The last pamphlet written by Lockwood is entitled The Last President, which takes place in New York City and describes the chaos America faces after the election of an unlikely candidate.
So how strange is it that after that book was released, the next book is called The Last President? And in the book, he's not taken seriously at all, but he ends up winning as an outsider. And also in the book, it says he lives in a hotel on 5th Avenue in New York. And you can do this for yourself. Just look up the address of Trump Tower in New York. It's on 5th Avenue. So what are the coincidences here, guys? Written over 100 years ago. And if you look at Baron Trump when he's a kid, doesn't his face look somewhat similar to Baron from the book? Now, also a side note, many of you guys remember this movie called Back to the Future, a movie that was all about time travel. Well, in my video a few days ago, we looked up Kekius Maximus, which was the name of the frog that Elon Musk changed his name to on Twitter, and it came up as Back to the Future, Meaning of Numbers, Level Playing Field, XRP the Storm, and the Wizard of Oz. So I get it.
Yes. You got to put all these little puzzles together. We've been doing this for like 4 years plus. A lot of us are like, what is going on? This is great.
Might be skeptical. God. This whole gematria thing seems very weird. My question for you is this. For those of you that don't believe it, or you think it's a little bit out there, and the XRP has nothing to do with any of this, well, why wouldn't any other cryptocurrency show up on this list right here? If a lot of you are going to say it's because of the amount of searches here, well, why wouldn't something like Bitcoin come up? Why wouldn't Ethereum come up? Why does it have to be XRP and all these seemingly unrelated things, but ultimately everything is connected things?
Welcome to my latest experiment. This is a big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
XRP storm is coming, boys.
So does all this mean that XRP is going to go to $100, $1,000, $10,000 at some point in the future? Well, maybe. Anything's possible, but we also need to take a practical solid grounded approach to these markets, so that way you can be able to make the most amount of money possible without having to wait, hope, wish, and pray. We create a solid strategy because with $54 trillion in debt, America's future balance sheet looks like a disaster movie. The CBO just forecasted our national debt, yes, hitting $54 trillion by 2035. So aging boomers, exploding healthcare costs, and interest rates doing their best Godzilla impression are pushing the numbers into orbit. So Michael Peterson put it plainly, this is not the future any of us want. And that's just the United States. When we talk about other countries like China, look at India's M2 money supply versus Chinese M1 money supply going up. India essentially just created $7 trillion of new liquidity, unless this is a glitch here. And Chinese M1 money supply went from $62 trillion to over $100 trillion since November of 2024. So just the past few months. So we talk about the US debt clock all the time, sitting at 36.7.
Yeah, go
trillion
check
dollars,
out
but a lot of people don't realize.
Go check it out. It's usdebtclock.org. Go check it out. You can see this firsthand.
That's just one country. China's at 16 trillion, Germany's at 3 trillion, Japan's at 12 trillion. All these other countries are in hundreds of billions to trillions of dollars in debt, leading us to a surplus of liquidity to flow into the crypto market. And with this offset in M2 Global Liquidity's index compared to Bitcoin's price chart, well, now we can see Bitcoin rebounding right on cue alongside with the breakout in global liquidity. And so with global liquidity making a new all-time high, is that future pacing for what's about to happen for Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin market? So there's two ways that you can play this here. Number one, you could be a macro investor and you could just literally buy and hold virtually anything that's a part of the new financial system, like XRP, XLM, HBAR, Algorand, XDC, Cardano, ICP, Bitcoin, etc. And you could just play the long game if you're okay with just sitting on your hands and holding and just not looking at your wallet, cold storage wallet, get it off exchanges. You can play it that way. Or number two, you can learn how to trade the markets in the midterm and the short term to be able to catch opportunities. So what we've done is we've created Altcoin Pro University to teach.
Yeah, I'm gonna his thing. I'm gonna just basically leave that alone. If you want to go subscribe to that, go right ahead. That's Bull Runner. I'm gonna have it down there. It's amazing, guys. Go check out them. Just go check out the Barron Trump thing, man, because that is crazy. My hat's doing some weird stuff because that's what it does. You know, it's got some green right here for my veterans hats, man. Shout out to my veterans, man, all my vets. But I'm super pumped about XRP. XRP's the future. Well, in my book, that's not financial advice. Go do your due diligence. XRP is 100% of my portfolio. It's not a very big one, but I'm getting up there. I like it. I like it. So, with that being said, guys, go check out Bull Runners, subscribe to my channel, and we will see you very soon. Thank you so much. Give me a like, subscribe, and share this video wide.